How does this, like, what do I, is that, hi, my name's Alex. I produce music under my alias, Project AER, and I left my job yesterday. I'm gonna try and vlog like once a month to just document this experience, because this is a very strange experience of trying to do music full time, and I don't know everything that's kind of, that kind of goes hand in hand with it. So I squirreled away some savings and I've got some releases planned, and I'm gonna try and kind of work through this and, try to understand what this entails and what this life is like. Plus, I thought it'd be fun to just share this journey for anyone else that might be wondering, what this is like and what happens and, what you're supposed to do, because, I haven't been taught any of this. I'm just sort of figuring it out as I go along. And so I thought it'd be fun to just record all my experiences, see what happens, and see how things sort of turn out. So today is me starting it. It is the 9th of July. It's my first unemployed day. It's a Friday. And it's the evening. It's like 8 o'clock, I think, now in the evening, and I've spent the entire day filming a bunch of track breakdown videos for Motions. If anyone's watched them, I was wearing this t-shirt in them, so I've just finished filming them and now I've got to edit them. I'm definitely finding that I'm quite like stressed, but like not stressed, not like stressed out, but just like I'm stressing over like my to-do list. I've got a lot of things I need to do. But yeah, I guess this is my check-in for day one of kind of doing this. I'm not going to necessarily film something every single day. I don't know how much content I'm going to have, or if these are going to be interesting. This might never go out. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. It hasn't really sunk in. It just, like, today really feels like a Saturday for me. It doesn't feel like a Friday. So it's very strange, a lot to kind of get used to. So today is Sunday the 11th of July, and my computer's being a bit noisy at the moment because I am rendering some track breakdown videos for my album Motions. When I was kind of preparing this album, one of the things that I had to kind of draft up was a sort of release plan, which is not just like when the singles are releasing, it's all the kind of promo material, so any kind of Instagram posts that I'm doing, any Twitter posts, any YouTube videos, any sort of other sort of activity that kind of relates to the album, whether it be, dropping a t-shirt, dropping the vinyl crowdfunder, stuff like that. So one of the things I wanted to have before the album was a bunch of track commentaries, which were about a minute, well, they're exactly a minute long, so they could be posted as Instagram posts. But what I wanted to do after the album launched for each day was have a track breakdown going through the project file of each song. I filmed all of them, which took multiple tries on some occasions, but now I just need to edit them all and then get them uploaded, because then that's one less thing I can think about. So that's kind of my job for today, is to finish these track breakdowns. So we'll see how I get on, because there's other stuff I want to get onto. Dreamhop are doing a 48-hour compilation. Again, they did one last year, which is when I got like my first label release, which was a song called It All Falls Into Place. So I'm going to try and do that again. This is like a sort of summary one, so I've got some cool ideas, I just need to get the time to do it. But if I don't get to do that today, then that is on tomorrow's list of things to do. I've also got a remix to finish and a bunch of other things, so I'm stressing a little bit, but I think that's a good thing. I think having a bit of kind of, stuff that's kind of going, come on, you need to finish this, is important. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm also doing washing. So it's still the 11th of July. I managed to get all of the track breakdowns done. I ended up like skimming through like the last few quite quickly, so I probably am going to need to watch them back to make sure they're okay, but I think I am very much like video edited out for the day. So now I've just got to try and work on this remix that I need to finish for someone, and work on a couple of like just normal Project AER tracks for an album I'm working on at the moment. And if I can get to it, work on some other cool stuff. But so far it's a pretty productive day. I think it's doing this like full time, it's going to be a bit of a strange one to balance, like being productive every day and actually giving myself time off and kind of allowing myself downtime. But yesterday I went out into London and that was nice. So yeah, it's going pretty well overall so far today. So fingers crossed that I can keep this up. So today's Monday, the 12th of July. It's my first Monday of my first proper week being doing this full time. So that's a bit strange. I've not been setting alarms, which is something I don't know if I'm going to have to start doing to try and kind of get myself into more of a routine. I don't know, but I enjoyed the extra sleep today, although I feel like I've slept too much now. So today's agenda is I need to first and foremost work on a track for this Dream Pop 48-hour compilation, which I've got kind of an idea of what I want to do. It's like a sort of more tropical summery sort of theme that they're kind of going for. So I had this idea of kind of finding a new steel drum VST and then trying to do kind of my ambient piano technique that I do, but doing it with a steel drum and trying to make an ambient steel drum and then just put some nice guitar chords over it and stuff, and then I don't know, but just some other cool tropically stuff over it. I have an old tropical house expansion for an old synth, so I'm going to try and see if I can work some of those elements in there to try and kind of make a Project AER tropical track. So we'll see how that goes, but that is the first thing I'm going to try and tackle. So rather than listing stuff, let's do that first. So I've been working on my track for Dream Hop's 48-hour compilation challenge thing, and I have a finished track, which I'm really happy with, but I'm also going to try and do a second one, because Colours and Contexts and I had a little conversation and we were like, why don't we go and take an old demo of ours and completely remake it, and I'm talking this is old, this is I think 2018 old, so I'm going to go and try that and see how that turns out, so that should be fun. That's pretty much a wrap on today, the 12th of July, still Monday. I'm probably not going to be able to film every single day because otherwise these monthly vlogs are going to get really, really long. But a bit of a sort of interesting day. The entire town had a power cut today, so I couldn't do anything for about half an hour, and in that time I was okay, I'm just going to go out then. So I went to go see my family, which was quite nice. It's good to have a sort of reminder, I guess, to do that. So my kind of solo track for the 48-hour compilation is done and submitted. The other track is with Colours and Context. I think he is working on it. I have texted him. I haven't heard back just yet, so I'm assuming that means he's working on it, because the deadline, I think, is midnight. So that's done. I got a demo track done for the album project that I'm kind of submitting tracks for. So all in all, I think still a pretty productive day. So today is the 15th of July. It's a Thursday, apparently. And Motions is out. My first kind of full-length project as Project AER is out, which is super exciting. I've released, I think the longest thing I've released is 8 tracks, which is, I guess is sort of an album. But this is the first thing where I'm actually kind of, I'm calling it an album. The premiere last night went really, really well. Homework Radio premiered it on their YouTube channel, and I got to kind of chat with everyone live as it happened. It was really cool, it was really wholesome, which is awesome. The vinyl campaign went live, and so far we've done 10 out of 100. I don't think it's going to happen, but you got to try, right? And I figured, it's just a fun thing to kind of have, that if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Cool, easy. So yeah, I mean, today I've just been taking things relatively easy. I did a bit of promo in the morning. I have a call with my distributor, Dashgo, at 7:30, so that's something I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so I've got a few more bits of promo content that I need to make. I need to send off the demos for my next album that I'm kind of working on. There's a few songs done, so I just need to kind of finalise, I think, one more, and then I'm going to I'll have 4 songs to kind of send off, and I've kind of been doing them in like small batches like that, rather than kind of writing like 10 tracks again, because it's a much bigger undertaking. But then yeah, I'm actually going out to do a social thing tomorrow night. I'm going to see one of my friends. We're going to go to a local pub, which is exciting. So today is Sunday the 18th of July. I've had like a couple of days off, not off, I've done some stuff, but like I've not really done anything interesting. Just, you know, kind of having a couple of days where feeling a little bit lower, so I'm like, okay, rather than force myself to work on stuff, I'm just going to allow myself to just, you know, go for walks, go for drives, watch TV, like that sort of stuff. Giving myself like proper days off, trying to find a balance. And I went out on Friday and got a little bit too drunk, so I was kind of recovering from that yesterday. But today, so far for a Sunday, is like really been quite productive. I'm working on a bunch of things that I don't think I can actually include in this, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I wasn't sure if it would actually happen around kind of the launch of Motions, but it's looking like it will happen. Like so far, like all the kind of tests for it and stuff have been really, really good. Okay, so it's the 20th of July, it's a Tuesday, it's still really, really hot. The heat wave in the UK is not letting up. They have issued an extreme heat warning in like certain parts of the UK, which is insane. So I'm intent on getting some stuff done today because it has been too long since I've gotten some stuff done. And I've already done pretty good. I've got a collaboration with Slowheal that I needed to kind of do some changes to, so I've done that. I've sent some stems over for another collab, the one I worked on at the weekend or whenever it was. And then I've got 2 collabs that I'm working on with Steezy Prime. I'm just recording some stuff for that now, and then I'm going to kind of make these kind of into full layouts, because right now, like, the first one I'm working on anyway is just like a sort of 8-bar idea, which is cool because I like that sort of as a starting point to kind of go and expand upon, and not need to do like crazy amounts, because obviously I want to send it back to Steezy and then he'll want to do some more bits too, I imagine, as well. So lots to go after, but I've got to just ignore the heat and just keep going. So there's going to be a fan on all day, but let's get some stuff done because I need to be productive, because otherwise I'm going to just hate myself after this week. Okay, so the collaboration with Slowheal is done. I just need to send it to him, and I've done the demos for my 2 collaborations with Steezy Prime. I've just, because they were quite short ideas, both the ideas that he sent me, so I've just kind of like made them into like full layouts of a track, added a fair amount of stuff, and then just sort of sent them over to see if he likes them and if he wants to add more, because, you know, then it's a bit more of a back and forth, which I like, having more of a back and forth sort of approach with collabs. So far, pretty productive. The next thing I need to do is make a bunch of promo videos for an upcoming release, which I don't know if I can talk about it by the time that this comes out, but so that's next up on my list. So I'm going to tackle that to kind of have a bit of a break from that, and it's something I can have a fan on constantly and just enjoy myself. So yeah, that's next on the list. So let's get into video editing mode and do that. Okay, so it is the 23rd of July. It's a Friday. It's my birthday tomorrow, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of excited about that. I don't have any plans, which is a little bit depressing, but still, it's my birthday, and it's a day where, even if it is just me, it's all about me, so that's kind of cool. Today is the first day that it's not been like deathly hot. So I'm actually going to try and get some stuff done. I got some stuff done yesterday on the 22nd. I got a bunch of things done for a secret project that I'm working on. So that is all pretty much done, which is very exciting. So now I think I have like some collabs to work on and various other things. And this secret project is kind of starting to demand even more of my attention because there's a lot of like logistical things around it. But the music for it is all nearly done, which is exciting because there's about an hour of music that I've had to put together. Not all from scratch, but you know, still there's a lot of changes. So yeah, today I'm going to try and get some more bits done. Yeah. Awful hair. I need to sort that out really. So I just turned 29. It's a little bit after midnight on now the 24th of July, which is my birthday. Spoilers. And it's just quite strange, you know. I don't know if I'll include this, but I felt like I wanted to capture it, so, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. It's just been a very weird year. The last 12 months has been full of lots of ups and downs. I mean, for obvious reasons, you know, like the world has been shit for everyone, you know, like it's been hard for everyone. I'm never going to try and sit here and say I've had it worse, but, you know, we each kind of perceive our world as like our own world, and like, you know, whilst I'm sure there's loads of people that have it worse than me, like I have to deal with my situation, you know, and there's been like a lot of ups, you know, like I'm doing music full time, like it's been my dream like forever, and I'm so thankful for it. I just wish it was different. And for a while I've like struggled admitting that to myself, because, you know, this year has been so strange that, you know, and I've been so set on this goal for so long, like, you know, ever since it started to feel like possible, like, you know, early last year, I was like, okay, well, I want to go for this, I want to try it, I've got to do it. And, you know, I got like this tunnel vision where I was like, I have to do anything it takes to kind of hit this goal and to, you know, to do music full time. And, you know, I've done it, but like I always find myself going like, well, what was the cost? You know, like I struggle with that quite a lot. And I mean, I'm not going to go into details here, like, at all, because we'd be here for hours. But, you know, like, I've lost a lot in kind of doing that, because I became so focused on that, like so hyper fixated on like that goal, that like I neglected like other parts of my life. And, you know, that's like, I've paid the price like in a lot of different ways, not just like externally, but like in myself as well. Like I've had to kind of do a lot of like soul searching in like recent months to try and kind of like understand myself a bit better, because I found myself in this position where like I didn't like me, and like, you know, obviously everyone goes through periods of like hating themselves, but it was like I hated like the idea of me. Like it felt like the same thing as like hating a different person, you know, like I was like, I would almost like self-sabotage because I hated like, you know, the idea of Alex so much. So I've kind of just tried to like do things that, you know, like force myself effectively to do things that, you know, practice self-care more, you know, look after myself and just be nice to other people and try and spread a bit of positivity like in these sort of darker times. Not that I can add much, but I can, you know, I can add my drop to the ocean, and, you know, and it still counts. And I found that like in recent times I started to like look in the mirror and, you know, like myself a bit more, not just like physically, but, you know, like in every sense, I guess. So yeah, I guess what I wanted to kind of capture here is just like it's a weird way to be going into 29, to kind of have such like longing and know that 28 ended on like such a low note, with some high notes. Like I'm not gonna, you know, deny that, you know, doing music full time is amazing, it's what I've wanted forever, if it's a little bit scary. But yeah, I felt a bit reflective, so I thought I'd just talk about it, and kind of just capture this, because maybe it'll be something I can look back on and, you know, see myself recovering from, and be proud of this kind of midpoint in the journey, and, you know, finding out like what's next for me and all that, and you know, to hopefully just kind of share this, because if anyone's like going through the same thing where like, you know, they're working so hard on something they've wanted like forever, and then they start to get close to it, but everything else feels like it's falling apart, you know, like we're all trying to spin plates all the time, and sometimes we drop some of those plates and the results aren't pretty, it sucks, you know, and like, yeah, I mean, I love sad songs, but it's like it's all I can write at the moment. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, like if anyone gets to this point where, like, you know, they start to achieve the things that they've wanted to achieve, and you know, you're still not happy, or like things still aren't okay, like, it's okay, like, it happens to everyone, you know. We can't, you know, just chase goals our entire lives, you know. Sometimes it's just about living, and I guess that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, just live and just do things that make me feel a bit more alive, you know, because we've all felt so dead for like the last year. But yeah, in my sort of life, you know, everything has changed. So yeah, here's to hoping that 29 gets better than how it started. But yeah, I don't know if this will go in the vlog. Maybe it'll go in the vlog, and then yeah, but that's where my head's at. Okay, so today is the 26th of July. It's a Monday, so I've not got much going on. So today Callum is coming around. Callum is a good friend of mine. We've known each other since like 2013, like, yeah, like pretty much like since January 2013. We've worked together on like a bunch of projects, but he is making, well, he's learning to kind of develop games, and he's making like a fan game as like his kind of project where he's kind of like learning everything. So he's coming over this evening because I am doing the soundtrack for his game. I mean, he's written most of it and put most of the arrangements together. He's just kind of giving me MIDI and stuff and kind of going, make it better. But he took a good crack at it. But so he's been kind of coming around and kind of like sitting in on those sessions for the most part. So yeah, I'm going to go get him in a few minutes, and then we're going to come back here and set up in the studio, and we've got a couple more tracks to finish because he is putting together a demo for his game. So these last two tracks need to be done, and they're kind of almost there. There's just one of them I want to rewrite. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to do some soundtrack stuff. Nailed it. Alright, let's just work on mastering first. So what's the inspo track?
The inspo track for this one.
Oh, well, this is for the next piece we're doing, isn't it? I'll just do this pre-master because, like,
boss battle, yeah.
Boss battle music. Okay, so it has literally just gone midnight. I took Callum home. We worked on a bunch of tracks for the soundtrack. We've kind of got everything done and kind of laid out that we need to have now for the demo that he's putting together, which I think is due in August, or at least the first trailer is due in August. I can't remember what happens when. There's a couple of things I think I want to brush up, but yeah, everything's sounding really good. Everything that, like, all the tracks that need to be done are pretty much done. They just need some little mix tweaks and stuff, which I'm going to probably work on tomorrow. We took them out in the car. They sound really cool. There's definitely a couple of them that have come out better than I thought they would, because sometimes when you're doing like kind of fast mixing and mastering in like a batch, it's very easy to kind of find that you go and take something into like a different listening environment and you immediately hear like 30 things wrong with it. But there's a couple where I was like, nope, they sound pretty much fine, which is awesome. So yeah, he seems really happy with them, which is awesome as well. So yeah, that's a pretty productive evening. Okay, so today is Wednesday the 28th of July. I've spent the day building a bed, so I'm going to film sitting on said bed. And today's quite an exciting day, not just because I've built a bed, which was, you know, very physically challenging. Today I heard back on the tracks for my next album, which is really exciting, from a particular label. And I submitted three and a kind of a fourth track that had kind of already been submitted as well, but like with, you know, some tweaks and stuff. And all four of them have got through, so I've gone from an 8-track album to a 12-track album, and I've got 2 tracks that have now been submitted that I'm waiting to hear back on, which is really exciting. I'm hoping that I can at least a collaboration, because one is a collaboration, one is a solo track, and I'd really like the collaboration to go through because I think that's come out really, really nicely, and I think it fits the narrative of the track, because this is a bit different to, you know, albums like Motions, and especially different to Growth Patterns, because this is like, I think, a very autobiographical sort of album. Like, I know it's instrumental music, but in terms of like trying to tell like a story through the music, I think it's coming together really nicely, and it kind of captures really kind of the last sort of like 6 to sort of 9 months of my life. which is really, really cool. It's quite an emotional album, but yeah, and the track I really wanted to be part of it, that's kind of, the track that's going to close out the whole thing, is on there now, and it's one of my favourite tracks I've ever made. I think it's the most important track I've ever made as well for Project AER, so yeah, some really, really exciting news. So I don't know when that's going to be released. It's looking like it'll be like October, November, December sort of time, but once I know, I imagine I'll probably put it in one of these. But yeah, exciting stuff. Got a bed and got some more tracks on my album. So it's been a productive day. If it's not necessarily a productive music day, I still feel like I've got stuff done and made progress. And I think progress is important to feel it in some way. So it's nice when everything feels so still at the moment. So let's see if that continues. So it finally happened. I'm finally struggling a lot with motivation for the first time, which feels good to be honest about that, because I feel like I've just been sort of procrastinating a lot in the last day or so. But yeah, so I feel like I'm finding it hard to kind of finish some of the things that I've got to finish. I think in some ways, getting this kind of album finished, because it is finished, I'm not writing any more stuff for it now, has been kind of really good, and I think that's kind of triggered something subconsciously to be like, oh, you can take your foot off the gas a little bit now. So maybe that's kind of it. I don't know. I've got some other stuff going on, that's kind of, I think, playing on my mind a little bit as well, so that might be it as well. Maybe I'm just making excuses, I don't know. But I've got this one really big project, which I think I'll talk about more in August's vlog, because there's more chance it will come out by then. This big project is just hanging over me. I've done all the music for it, now I've got to do all the visuals for it, and then after that I've got to kind of actually put it all together, which is kind of relies on me getting a lot of stuff right, which is a lot of pressure, and I think I'm starting to feel that. I don't know if it'll actually happen. I don't want to cancel it, but at the same time I'm really daunted by it. But I think that maybe that's a good thing. I do think it's good. If a project kind of intimidates you, I think that's almost a good reason to go after it and try it. So I'm gonna see how it goes. But yeah, struggling a lot with motivation, I think, for the first time since kind of starting this, which is pretty strange. But the other thing that I try and tell myself is, I did kind of everything that I've done with Project AER so far whilst holding down a full-time job. And I mean, working from home, yes, which definitely made things easier because there was no commuting. I'm less tired, from work and stuff, so that helped. But it's one of the things that I told myself when I kind of decided I was going to try and do this full-time was well, I don't need more time to write music. I can obviously sustain it as is. It's just kind of, I think, maybe I feel a little bit directionless, I don't really know, but even then I've got releases I want to work on, I want to do a Lullabies for Insomniacs Volume 2, I've got, the kind of leftover tracks from this album, of which there's 13, 14 tracks, so there's all that to do something with, so there's a lot to figure out and kind of start getting a release schedule kind of filled up. But that's the thing, I've got so much stuff that it's I don't really know how much stuff I can add to the calendar without kind of having a release every week at this point. But there's a lot of stuff to sort out, but I think I'm gonna just try and go easy on myself and allow myself to be unmotivated. One of the things that I don't think is actually talked about very often is how important it is to give yourself downtime, and it's hard when you kind of work a full-time job, because you feel those little moments of time that you get where you can have freedom to work on something, you feel you have to be working. But I think stepping away from that and taking walks and going to places and doing things and just doing stupid things like watching movies or playing video games, not that they're stupid, but those sorts of things inspire you. So I think it's important to do things like that to try and stay inspired. But yeah, so I'm just going to go easy on myself. It's the 29th of July, so I've got one day left, I don't know, before I kind of wrap up this vlog. But so I don't think there'll be much interesting in this, but August will be a lot more interesting. So I'm definitely going up to go see Miles, Colours and Context, as some might know him. So that should be fun. So yeah, that's this bit. This might be the end of the vlog. I don't know. I might film some more tomorrow. Who knows? But yeah.